Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to this live video. I'm being told that there's something wrong with the video resolution, so can you see me? Am I coming through clearly enough on the video? Can you hear me? Just to know whether to continue or to try again once I've sorted this resolution issue out. Thank you. All right. Seems good. Seems good. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I've always got my heart in my mouth, actually, every time I press go live, because you never know what's going to happen. So just want to say a very big thank you to all of you coming online with me now. I'm very excited to be with you. And the Pleiadians are going to come through and talk to you a little bit about Jupiter going into Sagittarius. Because Sagittarius is the ruler of Jupiter, so it comes around every 12 years. And it affects all of us. You don't have to be a Sagittarian to be affected. Each one of us is going to be affected in a different way. And always when Jupiter changes sign, it's an opportunity for a new cycle to begin in your life. The end of one cycle and the beginning of a new one. So, a few of you have asked questions. I'll just bring through whatever comes through now. As I said, it's always a little daunting because I never know what's going to happen. There goes a picture just falling off the wall. It's amazing. Things just suddenly happen the minute I mention the P's. So, thank you for joining me, and here we go. Woo! What a delight it is to be with you all here today. And Barbara's a little nervous today, simply because sometimes the comments are not so nice. Of course, most of you love it, but nonetheless, there are these odd bad apples there that like to put nasty things online. We don't know why you like to do it. There are some who really like to put on nasty comments, and we really don't know what you gain from that, really, because you don't feel good when you put a nasty comment afterwards. You don't feel good about it. You really don't. You sort of think, oh, that wasn't very nice, was it? Wouldn't like somebody to say that about me, would I? So really think about these things before you put any nastiness out in the world. Really think carefully and say, would I like this? And then you might stop yourself. You might say, no, 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 I wouldn't like it. I would hate it if somebody did this to me. So let me retract it. Let me think again. If it's not kind, don't do it. And Jupiter in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a funny sign. It needs fun. It needs laughter. Laughing and joking and fun. And things that are lovely to do. Things to look forward to. Things that you visualize for the future. Looking beyond the smallness of your life and going to boundaries that are unlimited, where you have no boundaries, where you don't feel boundaries, where you feel free. Jupiter in Sagittarius is about finding that freedom within you and expressing it. Because when you feel free, you feel joyful. When you feel restricted, you feel miserable. Quite as simple as that. And we love that you are sharing and commenting as you go along here with us. We are feeling you with us. Yes, make no mistake, we're all together in this world. We're all together. And there's many more present than you'd believe. You think it's only the people that you see with your five senses. Well, let us tell you, there's a whole lot more going on that you don't see. But many of you are beginning to sense something more. There's more out there, so to speak, yeah? And Jupiter in Sagittarius is about getting in touch with the more, not the less, but the more. Jupiter in Sagittarius is about opening up your beliefs. Many of you got limited beliefs. Open up a little. Like being with us here and now. Isn't it fun to be together? Isn't it wonderful to be together? Yeah? Something different, something new. We're always painting new things. Can you see Barbara's done a few extra paintings today? Yes, we were just there helping along with the colours and the designs. You see, so you've got a lot of help coming from the energy that is not visible. And Jupiter in Sagittarius is an opportunity to get in touch with all those invisible things and allow them to come through you. Now, you might be an artist and have paintings come through you. You might be a business person and have wonderful business ideas and materialize those. You might decide you want peacefulness and joyfulness in your relationships, and you can channel that too. You can channel whatever you want to channel. Actors channel very often. Robin Williams, terrific channel. Jim Carrey, terrific channel. Opening up to different frequencies. That is the opportunity. Yeah. Well, we've said quite a lot there, so we're going to see what questions are coming through now. Yeah. Well, you're asking for energy to heal yourselves. Healing is an energy frequency. First of all, you need to relax. There needs to be a state of great relaxation in the physical form. The emotions, the mental, has to come into a state of deep relaxation. The more relaxed you can be, the more you will be able to heal every possible thing you can imagine. And we have to convince Barbara of this too. Remember, you're all in a soup, really, of having been conditioned to go to doctors and hospitals and tests, and we're not saying there's anything wrong with that. That is one model. And it works in many cases, but it doesn't work in many other cases. And so many are looking now for other solutions, other ways. What can I do to really heal myself on deep levels? And this now has to move to a different paradigm that is away really from this chemistry of medicine where you are chemically treating the body, and that can work. We are not saying it cannot work. But there is a different way of treating the body, many different ways of healing the body. There are healers on the planet. There are many healers on this planet who are becoming stronger, who can heal without having to see the person, who can heal many just by frequency alone. We bring in healing, a great deal of healing, but you can resist it. There is a resistance often in the human being that says this is impossible. How can a tumor be healed in a heartbeat? Well, it can. Everything can be healed very quickly. It's a question of tuning in. And we're not saying it's an easy process. For many of you, it's quite a challenge to tune into it. But the more that you surrender, the more you say, I need help. Please give me help. Please guide me. Show me where I need to be. And then tune in and allow yourself to be guided. That's what Barbara does here when she's channeling. She just allows it to come through. Allows it to come through. So you ask, you believe, you surrender. You surrender. It's a surrendering. All too often you're resisting. There has to be the balance between the out and the in, the male and the female, the hot and the cold. There has to be the balance. Another question here. If you open yourself up to channel with the Pleiadians, thank you, Patty, how will you know it's us? You will know it's us if you relax, surrender, and feel joyfulness. Above all, we bring through joy, playfulness, love, gentleness. And you'll feel all of that somehow coming through you. Different ways, people experience us in many different ways. But you can call on us at any time. You can play with us at any time. We love to play. Play is so much fun, isn't it? When you say work, you get serious. When you say play, you're uplifted. So think about playing. Think about loving. Think about gentleness, kindness, laughter, and we'll come through. So you really bring us through on those frequencies. So you could ask for those frequencies. The frequency of joy. Ah! You see, we can bring the joy in immediately with Barbara. Ah! Yeah, there's a surrendering. It's important to surrender. You see, we pull funny faces. You see? We do pull all sorts of funny faces, and we know it's strange, and Barbara's sitting here in the background going, you see? But you see, we like to play. Yay, 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 yay. You're so serious, you see. No wonder people grind their teeth in the night, because you're being so proper during the day. In the night, you see, you're getting all that anger and frustration out. Instead of just allowing your mouth to move in new ways, allowing us to come through. It's a strange experience, that we can tell you. And it's always different. Barbara's now experiencing different things as we're live with you here now. It's a big risk for her, of course. You know, she's right out there just doing it with you. And some of you will begin to channel with us now here. Right here and now, you can play with this. You can play with it. So just play with us. So, we can come through in writing. We can come through in painting, in music, in dancing, in playing of any kind, in joyfulness, in seriousness. Even if you're serious, we'll still come through, you know. We can get round. Now, many of you are going through some difficult times. We realize that. Many of you are going through dark night of the soul. And we're with you. And you're not alone. And really, it's about not running away from it. Don't run from it. The more you run from it, the more it'll come at you. You say to yourself, I just want to be all right again. And of course you do. And you can be all right again. But it's about releasing the fear of going into those depths. It is the fear. And when you begin to just relax, it's finding that relaxation once again. When you can find relaxation, no matter what it is, if it's in nature, if it's with an animal, if you can find any place of relaxation, even if it's through tensing your muscles really tight, and then allowing yourself to relax. Because the body has to relax when you tense it. Afterwards, it just automatically relaxes. So relaxation is a key. And then you'll find as you relax and you just go into that deep space, you will sense a presence. There is a sense of a presence. And of course, you're right, Faye, releasing fear is not easy. Because fear is prevalent on the planet. You've practiced it a great deal and you're good at it. But most of you are afraid of living, not afraid of dying. Yeah. Yeah. Some of you are asking if you'll meet us. Well, you can meet us. You are meeting us now. You're looking to meet us physically. Yes, we understand. And no, we don't think you're going to be able to do that because we're not in physical bodies in the way that you are. You see. So in answer to your question, not in that way. Not in that way. Yes, Faye, channeling thoughts towards something you like, relaxing, staying focused, and focusing upon the vibrations that you wish to bring in. The vibration of connectedness if you feel lonely. What does the vibration of connectedness feel like? Invite it in. Invite us in. Invite the frequency of love to come into you. And see what picture comes into your mind. See if the message comes in. There are so many ways to get to this. And for those of you just joining, we're in a live session here and we don't know what's coming ourselves. We're going with your questions. We're going with your questions right now. We want to be with you now live and really co-create together. This is a co-creation. Things are always working out for me. Thank you, Vegan Hawaii. Can you connect with lost loved ones? Yes, of course you can. You have to know that your loved ones are always around you. They never really go away, away, away. Of course you miss them. Those that were here in physical form, you miss them deeply if you were very close. And eventually you do lose ones that you care for. But as you begin to see that everything is not as it seems, as you begin to open up, as the earth changes its frequency, which is happening, you'll be able to connect more easily with these loved ones. Surrender once again. Remember the wonderful times with those loved ones. Feel their love. Know that they love you. Know that they are still with you. Don't trust your mind that says, oh, they've gone and I can't feel them anymore. Just get into the feeling of how it felt during those loving times. And you'll bring back those beautiful emotions. And you'll have a sense of a presence around you. You can bring the presence of Jesus Christ to you. You can bring the presence of the Buddha to you. You can do it through mantra. You can do it through singing. You can do it through thought. There are many ways of doing this. How to deal with your son's anger, how to help him. Did you relax around him? You get uptight, dear Uta, I think your name is. You need to gradually learn how to relax around whatever is happening around you. The more relaxed you can be, the less you connect into the reasons for the anger, the easier it will be for him to release it. He needs a little bit of space at the moment. Needs a little more space. Give him a little more space. That'll help. Yeah. Now, if you don't want people around you, they won't be around you. Yes? So somebody was asking here, you're sure that she's gone? Your mother? Yes. But those that you want around you, that you love dearly, will come and will be with you and are with you. That's the difference. How do you release toxic people and habits from your life? How to release attachments? Goodness, that's a lot, Bryony. Goodness gracious. Well, you release toxicity by stopping the pattern. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of going round and round, of being with people who you are not feeling nourished, but with behavior patterns that are not nourishing to you. They might be abusive, they might be difficult, they might be unpleasant. And it's a habit. And it's about becoming aware of when you're in that circle, a vicious circle of getting into the response to various behavior patterns and going into them, and really not seeing that you are just part of a circle that goes round and round. Sometimes you have to cut off from these people altogether. You have to just say no more, can't stand it, can't do it, and you cut off completely. And you regain your equilibrium, and then you choose a different way of being. To release attachments, well, you have to see that everything is not attached to you. You think that things are there forever, but they're not. Nothing is there forever. Nothing. So as you begin to realize that everything is changeable and movable, you begin to release things. You begin to see that what is the point in holding on to all these things? Things are going to come and go and come and go and come and go. And as you see that really clearly and you feel it deeply within your cellular structure, you'll find it much easier to release. Much easier. So you'll never be free of all your problems, Rita. Dear Rita, yes, there will always be problems for you to solve. Always. Always be something for you to work on. The question is how you see it, how you perceive it. Do you perceive it as something that you can grow through and learn through? And become more aware and more conscious? Or do you perceive it as something that should not be there, shouldn't be happening? I shouldn't have lost my job. I shouldn't have had such a bad partner. Are you in resistance? And are you focused upon all the things that are not working in your life, or are you focused upon the things that are working? Even if it's just one minuscule, teeny, weeny thing. Can you put a little focus on that? Could you? Just a little? Yeah? We're playing with you. But it's important to play. Because as you begin to do that, as you begin to see that you have a whole inner world that is not affected by your problems, you'll always have something. It'll never be exactly as you want it to be in the outer world. There'll always be something. There'll be a queue in the supermarket that'll piss you off. Oh, excuse us. But there'll always be something, yeah? So really, it's not about solving your problems. And yes, part of life is about solving problems, but just know there'll always be something else that will challenge you, that will come up afterwards. What is most important is your internal state. How you deal with your internal state, which is forever changing, and how you deal with your mind, and how you deal with everything that comes through all of the time, and how you become aware of what's going on and disconnect from it. That, dear ones, is where you get your ultimate freedom. And that's what we're going to be working on with you gradually, bit by bit by bit by bit, more and more and more and more. Dear one, you're taking care of your mum dying, dear Christina. Yeah. You are tired, dear one. And you're going to need a little help. You really are. So you need a little help, dear Christina. Ask for some help there, yeah? You're not alone. We are there with you. And of course it's very difficult to be positive under those circumstances when she's so demanding and needs so much of your attention. But call for some help. There are people who are going to help you. Christina, be open to it, dear one. Yeah. How to survive loneliness and feeling unloved. Not finding someone to love with as much passion as we do. Well, you see, loneliness is deeply embedded on this planet because you all think you're individual entities, which of course you're not, but it feels that way to many of you. And you're never going to get that connection with another person while you feel the loneliness. When you come from loneliness, the kind of relationships that you draw to you are never the ones that are fulfilling. Never. You need to begin to feel yourself and how beautiful you are and really get in touch with that. And that takes a little while sometimes, takes a little unfolding. We've been working on that with Barbara for a few years now, to really love her body, to love herself, no matter how it is. Whether she feels as though she's too thin, people telling her she's too thin, then there are those who think they're too fat, and there are those who think they're too pale, too dark. You can't win, you know. You're never going to get the physical exactly as you want it. And you might get it exactly as you want it for 10 minutes. And then it'll change again and you'll notice something else. You'll go in that mirror and you'll go, see something I don't like again. Ooh, look at that. You see? So once again, the loneliness is really dealt with by relaxing into yourself, loving self, realizing that you're not alone, deeply, going to the depths of the loneliness. You may have to feel it really deeply. And then you'll find that you're not alone. If you ask, if you surrender. There has to be some asking. And now we get a very practical question from John saying, what are our thoughts on the future of cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin and all these sorts of things? Will the world convert to it as a form of money exchange and give people more freedom from financial slavery? Well, it's not going to come from cryptocurrencies, that we can tell you. Freedom from slavery financially is going to come as you unite on this planet, as you work together more cooperatively, more collaboratively. Can't say that word today, goodness gracious, Barbara. Collaboratively. No, still can't do it, but you know what we mean. You see, you're spreading out as the globe becomes smaller, as the internet connects more of you, as you find easier ways of sharing resources, of seeing that everybody on this planet deserves to have food, a home, clothing, the basics, that everybody deserves that. Not just a few, but all 7 or 8 billion, however many are here at the moment. As you begin to see that more is not really making you happy. Ultimately, happiness comes from something that is deeper than the more physical things that you get. But when we look at Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies, they're not bad, but they're not the ultimate. The ultimate is when you begin to care for one another without looking for necessarily more and more money, as each one has their basics covered. As you see that comforts, while nice, if they are at the expense of this planet, of digging up more things, then really it's important to look at how much do you really need. We're not saying you can't want more things, but still, to begin to look at why are you working and why are you a slave. Maybe there are things that you can adjust so that you don't feel you are quite as so much a slave to the situation you find yourself in. Now we realize it's quite contentious here and it's a big area. But nonetheless, There are going to be some huge changes in the financial systems. As you can see, what is going on right now is not sustainable and will have to change. And will change. It's going to be a bumpy journey. But good, because if it isn't a bumpy journey, you won't wake up. You know how it is when the train is nice and smooth. Oh, you begin to nod off, don't you? Oh. But if there's a bump, boom! If there's a bit of turbulence on the plane and suddenly it's up and down, you open up, don't you? Your eyes open and you think, goodness gracious, what's happening? So it's quite important to realize that the turbulence that is coming, that is being experienced, is wonderful, and to welcome it. To see and say to yourself, great, I'm being woken up out of a stupor. Because many of you have been in a stupor in this system. And people are going to come up with great ideas. Ideas that take you out of the mainstream systems. Communities, people getting together. That's what you all hunger for. Let's face it. Yes, there are a few who want to live isolated, like monks in mountains or on tops of mountains or wherever, in caves. But most want to connect, want to have relationships, want to learn, want to interconnect. And this is why you've got your internet now, to be able to connect on a wider scale, more quickly, more effectively, more efficiently than you've ever done before. Isn't this wonderful? So cryptocurrencies, yes, they will serve a purpose, but they are a bridge. They are not the ultimate, because the ultimate is about everybody being really nourished and fed upon this planet. Everybody. The animals, the birds, the trees, the flowers, all living things. Yeah. Yeah. Goodness gracious. You want to know a little about our society? Well, it's not a society so much in the way that you see it, you see. We really are here right now with you on planet Earth to help you go to a different frequency. That's why we're here. And that's what we're working towards. The frequency of generosity, of kindness, of love, of joy, of good-spiritedness, of freedom of expression, of acceptance, of tolerance, of compassion, of joy, of creativity, of being able to express who you are in your uniqueness. Yeah. And yes, you could go and find someone else who's lonely, yes, Sally, and work for a charity. Go and help people out and to feel connected that way. Yeah. There are many things happening around the world. The fires in California are tragic, very difficult. And there are earthquakes happening, and there are accidents, and many painful incidents, and people dying. All over the place, people dying. And people being born. And everything in a constant change. And until there is peacefulness on this planet, until there is a sense of responsibility for one another, and a living that is over and above what you can even see right now. And yes, it's utopian, you're going to say. How is it possible? Dream it, visualize it, draw it to you. You're connected in ways that you've never had the privilege to be connected before. This is unique, that we can connect with hundreds upon thousands of you right here, right now. Isn't this unique? You have more power now than you've ever had to create vast and rapid change upon this planet. The disasters and the tragedies are wake-up calls to wake you up If everything's going smoothly and wonderfully, you fall asleep again. You get bored. We're not saying you need tragedies to wake you up, but some of you do. Some of you do. Yeah. Yeah. That's what's happening here. That's really what's happening. Why are humans so important? Well, you're pretty amazing beings, aren't you? When you think of the human being and the body that you're in, isn't it terrific? Isn't it so complex that even scientists and your greatest minds don't understand a millionth of really what goes on and how it's put together? Yes, they might be cloning babies and things, but goodness gracious, they don't understand how it all works. They think they do, but they don't. Being a human is a magnificent opportunity. And yet you live, many of you, in the darkness and the fear and the worry and the pain. And we're here to help to change that frequency, as are many, to change that frequency. So it's good news. It really is good news. Of course you'd rather be home where you laugh and there is no pain. Of course. But much of the pain is self-created. And that is another story, another big story. The Bermuda Triangle, the myth of Atlantis, yes, of course. Nikola Tesla, I mean, many of you are mentioning things that are very important and are giving you clues. And you inside of you have clues. Each one of you has a connection to that divine source energy. Whatever you want to call it, God, Allah, whoever you believe in, it doesn't matter. There is a divine source energy that is powerful. How do you stop overanalyzing everything, Drew Valentine, to the point that everything is painful and full of fear? Well, that's a beautiful question, because that's really what you're here to change. It's been a history of that for eons on this planet, of driving yourself into fearful emotions, compulsions, addictions, and never really living. As we said, you're much more afraid to live than you are to die, really. Dying is pretty quick. You exhale and that's the end of it. All over. Curtains. But living, you're keeping breathing. How can you live? How can you really live? That's what we're here for, to share this with you, to take you out of this pain, out of this suffering, to have new perspectives, new visions, new possibilities. And you're living at just the right time. You're alive at just the right time to be on this whirlwind of the biggest shift that has ever taken place on this planet. We realize it's a big statement, and Barbara's going, woo, that's a lot to say. But you know what? It is so. And you don't have to believe us, or you can believe us. Either way. But it's, what do you feel on the inside? When we say some of these things, how do you feel? What are you feeling? That's the clue. Yes, it might look strange. New things do look strange. Always. But then it's wonderful. It's interesting, isn't it? If you always wear grey, but you suddenly wear red, oh, goodness gracious. Let's say everything in your wardrobe is grey, and then you buy something red. Won't that red thing stand out? Stand out, won't it? It's time to stand out, not to be grey anymore. Yeah. Goodness gracious. We could go on here, and we love that you're drawing so much more from Barbara than for a very long time. She wasn't able to channel for this long, but now it's getting easier. The more she opens, the more she surrenders, and the more she connects with you more deeply. Will there be a happy ending to the world? Will light beat evil? Thank you, Angel Heart. If we're come together one day, how is everyone on this earth by the billions come together all of a sudden? Well, there's no ending. That's the first thing we can say. No. Within time and space, of course, you see beginnings and endings. But there is no ending. It's just the changing of the format of the molecules and the atoms. There are a lot of questions coming in, and Barbara's a little overwhelmed at the moment, so we're loving these questions, and you can keep them coming on the community page afterwards, and we'll start to take a poll about the most asked questions, types of questions, and we'll come again live, because we realize that more and more of you are going to resonate with these messages and open up yourselves. You see, the idea of this is to open you, so that you can find the answers for yourselves. As we come together, we get answers together. It's powerful. Yeah. We do love you so very much, dear ones. We do. We love you, love you, love you. Yeah, it's a joy to be with you. We are smiling all over our faces, if we had faces in the way that you see faces. But we're laughing and smiling and dancing and joking around. We love to tickle you a little. We do. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There is so much to say thank you about. We are thankful for every single one of you. Every single one of you. You're beautiful. Each one of you is special. Each one of you has something unique to contribute to this planet. Nobody can compete with you. Ah! Nobody. So don't look at what others are doing. You be you. You can be inspired by others. You can enjoy and be entertained by others. But you be you. You be you. How do you know if you're Pleiadians? Well, you'll resonate deeply. You'll sense a resonation here, and you'll say, goodness gracious, I resonate with the Pleiadians. I must have been there. Maybe I'm one. You'll know. It'll just feel like coming home. Yes, animals do have souls. Of course they do, dear ones. Everything has a soul. Well, we love you very, very much. We will be back again soon. We thank you for all your support and love and energy today, because you have given energy. By listening and watching and tuning in, you do give energy. So we love you, love you, love you, love you. And we're going to bring our Barbara back now. Hi everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm really grateful to be with you. It's always an exciting journey, and from the bottom of my heart and from the peas, much, much love. Bye for now.